Hello everyone, doing a roof in Bulgaria. I'm putting a new roof on. That was the ridge beam, part of the ridge beam. It's roughly that sort of thickness. I'm putting a bit of 6x2 in, so I'm actually going to notch it and lay it on. The walls are mud. These walls are mud brick. So the plate, which was also roughly that size, was glued in with mud. It's like mud, clay, straw and shit, whatever it was. And because of the style of roof, I'll cut it off when it's all level up with the purlins. There's a purlin was mounted on here. I'll give you a bit more perspective of the other side. There's a purlin was sitting on that. They're mudded into the wall and sitting on another bit of wood which is laid in the wall, and the props that side. I'm going to do them after, believe it or not. I didn't want to rebuild that corner yet. I've got thunderstorms in a couple of days, so I've got to hurry get my skates on. I'll split it with a chisel and you know, push it through later. I rebuilt a little bit, but well, just muddied some in really. Yeah, so them purlins on this side are sitting on them bits of old rotten old. Well, they're not rotten actually. They're solid as a block, as a rock. And believe it or not, I'm 10mm out. You see that one isn't mudded in yet. I started where I showed you first. I started there. That is bob on, right? That's bob on. Now I've got to make sure it's square, but that is 10mm too high. So that on the whole length it will be pretty much. You know, I could scrape a little bit out, get a bit more mud in there, but it's 10mm, so it's something I'm going to have to live with. I'm not worried. If you don't tell anyone, I won't. Yeah, so I can notch these beams out to hold the ridge. I'm only using 4x2s for the purlins and like 3x2s for the joist. Should be strong enough if you consider what was on there before. Well, it might be round and it has a bit more strength, and it's old and some of it is hard. And a lot of it wasn't. A lot of it was rotten on one end. It was up and down, and I've already done that roof, which ain't too bad. But that was all out of square and everything. So I'm going to try and square this one up. And obviously I'm worried about falling down more than I am about perfection. I'd rather keep me less, as imperfect as I am and not any worse. Yeah, you see I had to take a beam out. It was rotten here. There was a cross cut in there. You see that? There was a bit cut in, and that one is shot to shit as well. So I've got one to put in there, and I'll cut that shorter and use it in the middle because it's better. It's more solid further back, and brace it across. And I might do I'll frame this and put some glass in, and a glass panel here, and glass just to get some natural light in the building. And that's the south side. The sun comes up over there and finishes over there. So I've got it quite been pulled away from it working on my swells up there. Get bored with nice to take your time and not rush. I got my wood chips. I've got some Jagoda, some strawberries gone in there. Only half of one of them beds. There's 2 beds there, covered in cardboard and wood chip. And I've got loads in little cloche coming up in that greenhouse here. I've just been in there, I've got a wet back. You see smudge marks on the polytunnel, the little thing, totally covered in condensation. Everything's jumping up. I've only been in there maybe 4 days, 5 days, it's all jumping up. And I'm gonna maybe do this a little longer than original. I can always add to it, but I just really want to protect the mud from the water, because it doesn't like the water. There is some staining where it's been leaking for however many years. It's surprising it hasn't washed away like that point over there. It's washed away. And that opening, there was a chimney there which was rotten, and as I say, all the timber was rotten, so I had to take that down. Full of every little bit of pointing in between the bricks, you know, I could just push them off. It's all full of ants and all little insects and that. So that all come off. Yeah, well, wish me luck. I'm going to notch. I've got to lower it, lower the ridge. I'll get the ridges in first. Make sure they're in the centre. Yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm cheating. I'm going to get the centre. Make sure I got it in the centre, because it may or may not have been in the centre. You never know. So I'm going to get it in the centre. You know, mark off of there, get me level up, see where I'm going, how high I want to be. Because I've also got to match up with the original, these struts. I've replaced a couple over there, which is not the best job in the world, but I may do these after. Did I say that already? I might have done. But I've got a space to them, so whether I'll add a cut bit on the top, or go beside them, I don't know. If I lower the ridge, do you know what I mean? If I lower the ridge half of where it was, like on a 6x2, if I lower it by 3 inches, I'm getting a different angle, aren't I? So lower up there will get me a little higher out here, different angle, wouldn't it? It'll get me a little higher, which is, I would prefer that, because of the snow and that. I don't know. Well, this video's 8 minutes, so you know, I think I'm going to put a black pipe. If I can find some aluminium pipe, I'll put a black pipe up there, because I want to have a little portable swimming pool, you know, a little swimming pool there. It won't need much of this weather to get warm, but if I put a pipe up on the top instead of a ridge, I've got some old metal roofing plate what I can cut to size, and I can sit it on the ridge, batten